What if I told you that the future of warfare might not involve battlefield confrontations or the thunder of artillery fire? In the modern era, the nature of warfare is shifting dramatically. We've moved far beyond the traditional battlefield scenarios where uniformed soldiers clashed under the command of generals. The warfare of today, and indeed tomorrow, is characterized by an integration of conventional military capabilities with unconventional tactics. This is the essence of what is known as fifth and sixth generation warfare. Fifth generation warfare, for instance, leverages technology and information to achieve strategic objectives. It's not always about the physical destruction of the enemy. Instead, it's about undermining them through information warfare, cyber operations, psychological operations, and economic coercion. Imagine a world where disinformation campaigns, cyberattacks, and economic sanctions are the norm, where propaganda and manipulation shape public opinion and destabilize adversaries. Then we will introduce the future realm of the speculative with sixth-generation warfare. As we look into the future, this concept, though theoretical, pushes the boundaries of fifth-generation warfare even further. In sixth-generation warfare, the focus is on advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and nanotechnology. We're talking about unmanned vehicles, drone swarms, and advanced sensors being used to achieve military objectives with greater precision, speed, and efficiency. The lines between civilian and military capabilities are blurred, as are the lines between conventional and irregular warfare. Information dominance becomes key, as controlling the narrative and shaping perceptions becomes central to achieving strategic goals. But let's not forget that these concepts, especially the sixth-generation warfare, are still speculative and theoretical. Their precise characteristics and implications are subject to debate and interpretation. In this video, we will explore these new forms of warfare and their potential implications for the future. As we delve into these topics, we'll see how they challenge traditional concepts of deterrence and conflict escalation, and how they may redefine warfare as we know it. Fifth-generation warfare is not about brute force, but rather about finesse and manipulation. It's a chess game of strategic moves and countermoves, where the battlefield extends beyond physical territories and into the realms of information, cyberspace, psychology, and economics. This form of warfare is a complex interplay of conventional military capabilities with asymmetric tactics and unconventional warfare. The emphasis is not necessarily on overpowering the enemy, but on outsmarting and outmaneuvering them. It's about leveraging every tool at one's disposal to achieve strategic objectives. Consider the use of information warfare. It's not about bullets and bombs, but about bytes and bandwidth. Cyber operations are used to disrupt, degrade, or destroy an adversary's capabilities, or to sow chaos and confusion. A well-executed cyber attack can cripple a nation's critical infrastructure or expose its deepest secrets, all without firing a single shot. Psychological operations, meanwhile, target the minds of the enemy. They aim to demoralize, confuse, and manipulate, turning public opinion against the adversary and sowing discord among their ranks. These operations can range from broadcasting propaganda to conducting elaborate disinformation campaigns. Economic coercion is another powerful tool in the fifth-generation warfare arsenal. Sanctions, embargoes, and other economic measures can be used to weaken an adversary, restrict their access to vital resources, and isolate them on the global stage. Let's not forget the use of proxy forces, irregular warfare, and paramilitary organizations. These tactics allow a nation to advance its strategic interests while avoiding direct confrontation with superior military forces. This way, a conflict can be waged and won without the aggressor ever setting foot on the battlefield. Each of these tactics can be potent on their own, but when combined in a coordinated, integrated approach, they can be devastatingly effective. They represent a shift in the nature of warfare, a new paradigm that recognizes the power of influence, information, and indirect action. Fifth-generation warfare is about achieving strategic objectives without resorting to traditional military confrontation. It's about winning wars not through sheer might, but through masterful manipulation and strategic subterfuge. In the evolving landscape of modern warfare and fifth-generation warfare, one of the most chilling threats is that of biological warfare. As we delve into the realm of the unseen, we encounter the potential for devastation on a scale that challenges our understanding of conflict. The use of biological agents in warfare is not a new concept, but the implications in a world of advanced scientific capabilities and global interconnectedness are profoundly unsettling. Biological warfare involves the deliberate use of disease-causing organisms or toxins to harm or kill adversaries. The agents can be naturally occurring or artificially created, and their effects can range from incapacitating to lethal. The potential for widespread harm, coupled with the difficulty of detection and the ease of dissemination, makes biological warfare a potent tool for state and non-state actors alike. Historically, biological warfare has been used as a tool of disruption and destabilization. For example, during the Pontiac's War in the 18th century, British forces deliberately spread smallpox-infected blankets to undermine the stability of targeted populations. However, as we move into the era of 5th and 6th generation warfare, the potential for more sophisticated and devastating uses of biological warfare increases. In the realm of psychological warfare, the threat of biological attacks can have profound effects on public perceptions and societal resilience. The anthrax scare in the United States following the 2001 anthrax attacks is a stark reminder of the psychological impact of biological threats. The fear and uncertainty generated by such events can be exploited through disinformation and propaganda campaigns, further sowing discord and confusion. Economic warfare can also be waged through biological means. A large-scale biological attack could have devastating economic consequences, disrupting supply chains, crippling industries, and plunging markets into chaos. Simulations conducted by government agencies and think tanks underscore the potential economic impact of such an event. The use of biological weapons in proxy conflicts and unconventional warfare scenarios is also a growing concern. Non-state actors such as terrorist groups could potentially wield biological weapons as tools of asymmetric warfare. State-sponsored bioterrorism and covert biological weapons programs further raise the stakes in this deadly game. As we move forward into the uncharted waters of 6th generation warfare, the potential integration of biological weapons into hybrid warfare strategies is a sobering prospect. The combination of conventional military capabilities, irregular tactics, cyber operations and biological warfare could redefine the battlefield and the nature of conflict. In this new era of warfare, the unseen threat of biological warfare looms large. It is a stark reminder of the evolving nature of conflict and the need for constant vigilance and adaptation. As we continue our exploration of modern warfare, let us not forget the unseen threats and the profound implications they carry for our future. As we move further into the 21st century, we're beginning to see glimpses of what 6th generation warfare might look like. The concept of 6th generation warfare is more speculative than its predecessor, and some analysts see it as the natural evolution beyond 5th generation warfare. The key differentiator between 5th and 6th generation warfare is the incorporation of advanced technologies. Artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and nanotechnology might be the tools of the future warrior. These technologies could potentially revolutionize the conduct of warfare, offering unprecedented precision, speed, and efficiency on the battlefield. Imagine hundreds of unmanned vehicles traversing hostile terrains, swarms of drones dominating the skies, and advanced sensors providing real-time intelligence. These are no longer figments of science fiction, but realities being developed and tested in military labs around the world. But 6th generation warfare is not just about the physical battlefield. It's about further blurring the lines between civilian and military capabilities, between conventional and irregular warfare. It's about leveraging information dominance to control the narrative and shape perceptions. In the world of 6th generation warfare, every citizen could potentially be a soldier. Every device a weapon, every piece of information a bullet. It's a world where the battlefield is everywhere and nowhere, where the war is fought not just for territory, but for minds and hearts. However, the exact details of 6th generation warfare remains more speculative and theoretical. Its precise characteristics and implications are subject to debate and interpretation. As advanced as these technologies may be, their effectiveness in warfare is yet to be proven. The ethical and legal implications of their use are yet to be fully understood. But one thing is clear: the nature of warfare is evolving, and those who fail to adapt will be left behind. As we venture further into the 21st century, we must prepare for the potential realities of sixth-generation warfare. Sixth-generation warfare, though still theoretical, promises to revolutionize the conduct of warfare, just as fifth-generation warfare has. The battlefield of the future may be unrecognizable to the warriors of today, but the principles of strategy, tactics, and human courage will remain as vital as ever. Expanding on the idea of fifth-generation warfare, modern warfare is no longer a binary proposition. Today, nations employ a blend of conventional and unconventional tactics. Welcome to the complex world of hybrid warfare, where the battlefield extends beyond physical territories, reaching into the realms of cyberspace, economies, and even the human mind. Hybrid warfare is the strategic cocktail of conventional military capabilities, irregular warfare tactics, and non-kinetic means. It's a blend of the old and new, combining the classic art of war with 21st century innovations. A state using hybrid warfare could launch a traditional ground assault while simultaneously deploying cyberattacks against the enemy's infrastructure, spreading disinformation to destabilize their society, and applying economic sanctions to cripple their economy. Let's take a closer look at these unconventional tactics. Cyber operations have become a critical component of hybrid warfare. These operations can disable critical infrastructure, steal sensitive information, or disrupt communication networks, all without firing a single bullet. Meanwhile, information warfare targets the minds of the populace, using propaganda and disinformation to manipulate public opinion and sow discord. Economic coercion is another tool in the hybrid warfare arsenal. By wielding the power of the purse, states can impose economic sanctions to weaken an adversary's economy, or use investment and trade as leverage to compel certain actions. Then there's the use of proxy forces. Rather than risking their own troops, states can support local militant groups, insurgents, or even criminal organizations to create chaos, undermine governments, or secure strategic objectives. Hybrid warfare is a game of shadows, where the aggressor often remains hidden, making it difficult to identify the source of an attack, or even to define what constitutes an act of war. In this murky landscape, the lines between war and peace become increasingly blurred. Traditional concepts of deterrence, based on the threat of military retaliation, struggle to maintain relevance. Conflict escalation becomes unpredictable, as it's no longer just about who has the bigger army or the most powerful weapons. Hybrid warfare blurs the lines between war and peace, challenging traditional concepts of deterrence and conflict escalation. It's a new paradigm of conflict, and we're only beginning to understand its implications. Continuing with the fifth-generation warfare. Major powers are increasingly turning to proxies to advance their interests and influence in regions of strategic importance. This is a reality we cannot ignore in the context of modern warfare. Proxies, in the form of insurgent groups, paramilitary organizations, and political factions, are being employed as tools in the global power game. So, how does this work? Let's delve a little deeper. A major power, for example, could support an insurgent group in a region where it wants to extend its influence. This support could be financial, military, or even political. The insurgent group, on the other hand, gains resources and backing to fight local governments or rival factions. It's a symbiotic relationship, one that allows the major power to exert influence without directly involving its own military forces. Now, why would major powers choose this indirect approach? The answer lies in minimizing risk. By using proxies, these powers can compete with each other on foreign soils, while avoiding the potential catastrophe of a direct military conflict. It's a chess game of global proportions, with the proxies serving as the pawns. Let's take a look at some examples. The Cold War was a classic era of proxy conflicts, with the United States and the Soviet Union supporting opposing factions in various regions across the globe. More recently, we've seen similar dynamics play out in places like Syria and Yemen, where local conflicts have become intertwined with broader geopolitical struggles. But proxy conflicts aren't just about military action. They're also arenas for influence operations, where major powers try to shape perceptions and realities on the ground. This could involve spreading propaganda, discrediting enemies, or even manipulating social media. The goal is to win hearts and minds, to create a narrative that supports the major powers' strategic objectives. So, in essence, proxy conflicts are a form of warfare that combines traditional military tactics with elements of psychological warfare and information operations. They represent a complex and multifaceted aspect of modern conflict, where the lines between war and peace, between combatant and non-combatant, are increasingly blurred. Proxy conflicts allow major powers to compete without risking direct confrontation. It's a high-stakes game, one that requires a deep understanding of local dynamics, strategic patience, and a willingness to operate in the shadows. In the 21st century, the race for technological superiority has become a key aspect of global power struggles. The digital battleground has emerged as a new front, where nations vie for dominance in the realm of artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, cyber capabilities, and space-based assets. Artificial intelligence, or AI, is no longer the stuff of science fiction. Today, it is a strategic asset that nations are harnessing to outpace their adversaries. From autonomous drones that can execute precision strikes to AI-driven cyber defense systems that can thwart sophisticated cyberattacks, the potential of this technology to revolutionize warfare is immense. Autonomous systems are another game changer. Imagine fleets of unmanned vehicles, both aerial and terrestrial, executing complex missions without risking human lives, or underwater drones silently patrolling the depths of the ocean, collecting crucial intelligence. These aren't just possible future scenarios, they are becoming realities on the modern battlefield. Cyber capabilities are the invisible weapons of the 21st century. They offer the ability to disrupt an enemy's infrastructure, communications, and command systems without firing a single bullet. A well-executed cyber attack can cripple a nation, making it as devastating, if not more, than conventional warfare. Last but certainly not least, space-based assets have taken center stage in the technological arms race. From satellites that provide critical communication and navigation services to space-based sensors that can detect missile launches or troop movements, control of the high frontier is now a strategic imperative. Nations are investing heavily in these technologies. They understand that in the chess game of modern warfare, technological superiority can provide the decisive edge. It's not just about who has the most soldiers, tanks, or fighter jets anymore. It's about who can leverage technology to its maximum potential, who can innovate faster, and who can adapt to the rapidly evolving battlefield. So as we look to the future, it's clear that the race is on. A race not just of military might, but of technological innovation and adaptation. Technological superiority is now as important as traditional military strength in determining the outcomes of conflicts. In the digital age, information has become a powerful weapon in its own right. This statement couldn't ring truer. The battlefield of the 21st century extends far beyond physical territory. It encompasses the very minds of the global populace. Information warfare is a critical aspect of this new age conflict. It involves the use of disinformation campaigns, propaganda, and psychological operations to shape public opinion, influence decision makers, and undermine adversaries. It's a chess game of narrative control, where the pieces are facts, half-truths, and outright lies, and the board is the collective consciousness of the world. Consider disinformation campaigns, where false information is deliberately spread to deceive and mislead. These campaigns can sow discord, create confusion, and erode trust in institutions. They can be used to amplify existing societal divisions or to create new ones, and they can shape the public's perception of reality to fit a specific narrative. Propaganda, on the other hand, is a tool as old as conflict itself. It's a means of persuading the masses, of influencing their thoughts and emotions, and ultimately their actions. Today, propaganda can be disseminated with unprecedented speed and reach, thanks to the ubiquity of social media and the internet. It can be customized, targeted, and fine-tuned to resonate with specific demographics, making it a potent tool for shaping public opinion. Psychological operations, or PSYOPs, are another facet of information warfare. These operations are designed to manipulate people's emotions and reasoning, to induce specific behaviors or responses. They can be used to demoralize an enemy, to galvanize support, or to sow fear and uncertainty. Sophisticated information operations can be seen in action across the globe. These operations leverage a mix of overt and covert tactics, from spreading misleading narratives on social media to hacking news websites to alter their content, to launching influence campaigns that subtly shape political discourse. In this age of information saturation, the battle for hearts and minds is being waged not with bullets and bombs, but with bytes and bits. Information warfare allows nations to control the narrative and advance their strategic interests on the global stage. As we've seen, the future of warfare is likely to be radically different from the past. Fifth-generation warfare blends conventional might with asymmetric strategies, using information warfare, cyber operations, and economic coercion to destabilize adversaries and reach strategic goals. But the evolution doesn't stop there. As we have introduced, the speculative sixth-generation warfare takes fifth-generation warfare a step further. It imagines a future where advanced technology like artificial intelligence, autonomous systems, and nanotechnology are at the forefront of conflict and possible primary weapons used in future wars. In this new age, the lines between war and peace, civilian and military, become increasingly blurred. Proxy conflicts, influence operations, and the race for technological superiority will continue to shape the global power struggle. Information warfare, disinformation campaigns, and economic sanctions will remain potent tools to control narratives and undermine adversaries. Just as sixth generation will build on fifth generation warfare, but adding in autonomous unmanned vehicles, drone swarms, and AI-driven battlefield capabilities. The future of warfare will be shaped by those who can best adapt to these new forms of conflict and leverage them to their advantage.